My beloved child, come closer, for I feel a trembling in the spirit, a stirring in the unseen, a whisper so soft yet so desperate that it shakes the heavens themselves. Tonight, something sacred is happening. Something rare. Something that does not happen often and may not happen again for a long time. The veil between this world and the next has thinned, just for a moment, and a voice from heaven is calling your name. Yes, your name. A loved one from beyond the veil is leaning over the balcony of glory, their eyes fixed upon you. They are trying to speak, trying with all their heavenly strength to reach your heart before this divine window closes. And my child, they are not simply speaking, they are begging. Begging for your attention, begging for your ear, begging for your heart to be still so their message can be planted inside your spirit. For the next few minutes, heaven itself bends low. I can almost see it now, the golden light wrapping around their form, the softness of heaven's wind carrying their voice, the urgency that trembles in their spirit. This is not a casual moment. This is not an accidental moment. This is a holy appointment, a heavenly summons, a minute carved out by God Himself to let a message travel from eternity into your mortal heart. My dear child, listen to me. There are moments in life where you choose to listen, and moments where you do not get a choice. This is one of those moments where heaven takes hold of your shoulders and gently turns your face toward the light. You may have felt it today, perhaps a sudden heaviness, a tug in your chest, a strange sense that someone was trying to reach you. Perhaps your heart wandered to someone you've lost, wondering why their memory felt unusually alive. Perhaps tears came for no reason. Perhaps you woke up with their name on your lips. There is a reason. Heaven does not move without purpose. Right now, in this very second, your loved one is drawing near. They have waited for this chance, prayed for this chance, watched over you hoping for this chance. They have seen your struggles. They have watched your silent battles. They have witnessed your moments of heartbreak that no one else saw. They have stood by you when your room was dark, when your soul felt weak, when your hands trembled with stress or sorrow. And now they cannot stay quiet. Their spirit trembles with urgency. They know the window is small. They know time is short. They know these next few minutes may be the only time heaven allows their voice to break through the noise of this world so that you may hear them. My beloved, I speak this with a trembling heart. They have a message that cannot wait. A message meant only for you. A message heaven has allowed to exist for this moment alone. Can you feel it? The warmth rising in your chest, the pull, the strange, soft ache inside that tells you someone is thinking of you. That is them. They are closer than you think. Closer than one heartbeat to the next. Closer than the breath you just took. Your loved one stands in the realm where tears do not fall, where pain has no voice, where joy sings constantly, and yet their joy is incomplete until you hear what they must say. They reach for you not out of sorrow but out of love. A love purified, magnified, and strengthened by heaven itself. My child, open your heart. Still your mind. For the next few minutes belong to heaven. Let no distraction steal this moment. Let no worry drown out this voice. The message is coming, their message. For you, and you alone. My beloved child, breathe gently now, for as we step deeper into this sacred moment, the air around you may begin to feel different. There is a weight, but not the weight of sorrow. It is the weight of glory. It is the heaviness that comes when heaven leans close enough for the human heart to feel its nearness. And right now, your loved one stands in that nearness, standing not in shadows or sadness, but in the brilliance of God's light. They want you to know that they are whole, they are safe, and they are wrapped in a peace that this world cannot offer. Yet, with all that peace around them, their eyes still search for you. Child, listen. When souls cross into the heavenly realm, they see with a clarity that is impossible on earth. They see love differently. They see purpose differently. They see you differently. Your loved one sees the real you, not the version you've tried to hide, not the version that pretends to be strong. No, they see the depth of your spirit, the cries you never gave sound to, the battles you fought quietly, the dreams you stopped believing in. And because of that divine clarity, their heart pulls toward you with a gentleness so strong it cannot stay silent. I want you to picture something with me. Imagine a vast expanse of light stretching out like an endless morning. Imagine warmth that feels alive, like it breathes, like it recognizes you. And now imagine your loved one stepping forward from that light, their face no longer weary, their body no longer tired. Imagine them calling your name, not with sadness, but with a hope brighter than the sunrise. This is what I see in the spirit. This is what they look like now. They are surrounded by songs that never fade, by laughter that never breaks, by comfort that never weakens. They carry no regret, no fear, no sorrow. But they do carry something else, an ache, a holy ache, to reach you. This ache is not the ache of pain. It is the ache of love, intensified by heaven's purity. It is the ache of wanting you to feel the same peace they now walk in. It is the ache of wanting to guide you, even from heaven's side, toward the life God still has for you. They are not lost, my child. They are not gone. They are alive in a realm that is more real than anything we touch here. And they have a message because they have been watching you. Yes, watching you. They have seen the nights when your mind raced so hard you could barely breathe. They have seen the days when your smile was just a mask you wore so others would not worry. They have seen you pretend to be fine when you were breaking softly inside. They have seen your loneliness even when you sat in crowded rooms. They have seen your heart calling out for direction, for reassurance, for someone to simply understand. And every time your spirit trembled, their heart trembled with it. But hear me, my beloved child. They are not reaching out because they are sad. They are reaching out because heaven allows those who truly love us to carry a burden of intercession, a longing for our healing. They want you to rise again. They want you to breathe again. They want you to know that your story is not finished. They want you to realize that you have been walking under the weight of grief and fear for far too long, and they want to lift it off of you. This moment is holy because it is rare. Heaven does not open its gates for just anything. There are spiritual laws, spiritual timings, and spiritual mysteries. And one of those mysteries is that sometimes, just sometimes, a message from a loved one can be carried through the spiritual atmosphere and delivered to your heart at the exact moment you are ready to receive it. A moment is now. You may notice even now that their memory feels unusually close. Not in a heavy way, but in a warm, almost living way. You might even feel a tingling in your hands, or a warmth in your chest, or a sudden calm beginning to spread through your body. These are not accidents. Your spirit knows what is happening, even if your mind cannot explain it. Child, they have been waiting. Waiting for this door to open. Waiting for your heart to be still. Waiting for God to say, now is the time. They do not want to frighten you. They do not want to confuse you. They simply want to be heard. They want to whisper something that will change the direction of your steps. Something that will loosen the grip of the burdens you have been carrying. Something that will heal a scar inside you that you have carried far too long. Stay close now. Do not let your mind wander. They are drawing nearer, and the message they carry is full of love, full of truth, and full of hope. My child, let your heart remain open, for this is only the beginning of what they long to say. My beloved child, as we move deeper into this moment, let your heart stay tender, because what comes next is wrapped in divine timing. Heaven never moves without purpose, and your loved one is reaching for you now because something in your life has shifted. Something has reached a crossroads. Something in your spirit have been crying silently, and heaven has responded. There are moments in our journey when God aligns everything, your thoughts, your emotions, your questions, even your pain, to create a tiny window where a message can reach you. And right now, you are standing inside that window. Let me speak this softly to you. Your loved one has not spoken before, not because they did not want to, but because you were not in the place to receive it. You were moving too fast, trying too hard to carry everything alone, holding on to burdens that were never meant to be held without help. You were surrounded by noise, by distractions, by anxieties that drowned out the gentler voices in your life. But recently, something changed. Something broke open. Something inside you grew quiet enough for heaven to whisper without being pushed away. Perhaps it was a night where you felt your heart crack under the weight of worry. Perhaps it was a moment when you whispered into the darkness, asking God if anyone could hear you. Perhaps you found yourself longing for the comfort of someone who used to hold your hand, someone who used to calm your storms, someone you miss in a way words cannot explain. My child, that cry of your heart traveled further than you think. Heaven heard it. And your loved one, the one whose memory burns so deeply in your chest, heard it too. This is why they are reaching out now. They have waited for this opening in your spirit. They have waited for this softness in your heart. They have waited for the moment when you would not run from their voice, but lean into it. They know you have been fighting battles in silence. They know you have been trying to stay strong for others. They know you have been carrying questions that no one around you seems able to answer. They know there are wounds in you that time has not healed. And that is why God has allowed this sacred moment to unfold. You see, heaven works in patterns. When your spirit reaches a certain level of hunger, a certain depth of longing, a certain breaking point where you can no longer pretend you are fine, heaven responds. The barrier between the seen and the unseen becomes thinner. The spiritual realm presses closer to your world. And those who loved you deeply in this life become more aware of your struggles. Their hearts lean toward you with an intensity that cannot be ignored. Your loved one hath been watching this season of your life with concern. They have seen you drift into emotional storms. They have seen you walk roads that drained you. They have seen you surrounded by people and yet alone in your heart. And they have been pleading in the heavenly courts, asking for a chance to reach you, to speak to you, to guide you. That permission has been given now. Heaven has decided that this is the right moment. Do not underestimate this moment, my child. Divine timing is not random. It is not accidental. It is orchestrated with precision. You are hearing this message because the next steps in your life matter. Because there are choices approaching you that will shape your future. Because there are doors opening that you may miss if your spirit remains heavy. Because there are blessings coming that require you to let go of old burdens. And your loved one wants you to move with clarity, not confusion. They are reaching out now because they sense a turning point. They feel something rising in your life, a shift, a change, an awakening. They know you have felt it too, even if you have not yet understood it. Perhaps recently you have felt more emotional than usual, Perhaps you have been having dreams that feel too real. Perhaps memories of them have been resurfacing without warning. These are signs that heaven hath been preparing you for this moment. My beloved child, your loved one sees the path ahead of you, and they do not want you to walk it with fear. They do not want you to carry regret. They do not want you to hide your pain anymore. They want to guide you toward the peace you deserve, the healing you have been postponing, and the future that has been waiting for you. This is why they are reaching out now. Because the time is right. Because your soul is ready. Because heaven has opened a door that will not remain open for long. And because their love for you is too strong to remain silent any longer. My beloved child, come even closer now, for the message that has been waiting in the unseen realm is beginning to unfold before you. There is a stirring in the spirit, like the sound of distant wings, like a whisper carried by a wind that does not belong to this world. Your loved one steps forward now, not with hesitation, but with a tender boldness, as though they have waited so long for this moment that they cannot bear to waste a single second. Their voice trembles not with fear, but with emotion, with longing, with a deep, aching love that has not weakened across the veil, but has only grown stronger, purer, clearer. Listen carefully, my child, for the message they carry begins with love. A love that does not fade, does not falter, does not forget. They want you to know that nothing in heaven erased the bond between you. Nothing weakened it. Nothing dimmed it. In fact, the moment they stepped into the light of eternity, the love they felt for you expanded until it became almost overwhelming. They see you now with heavenly clarity. They see the fullness of your heart. They see the beauty of your soul. They see the weight you carry that no one else notices. And they are reaching not from sorrow, but from a desire to comfort you in ways they could never do while they were on earth. Child, let me show you what I see in the Spirit. Your loved one stands in a place where light dances like living waters. The air itself glows. Time flows gently, without rush, without pressure. And from that holy place, they look toward you with eyes full of compassion. Not pity, not sadness, compassion. Heavenly compassion. They have watched you reach for strength. They have watched you work so hard to hold yourself together. They have watched you walk through seasons of confusion, through nights of heaviness, through storms that shook your confidence. And each time, their heart reached toward yours. This is why heaven has allowed their voice to come forth now. This is why their message is unfolding. Because they need you to hear something that will soften the hurt you have been carrying. They need to tell you something that will lift the shadows off your spirit. They need to speak life into places where pain has tried to plant its roots. My beloved child, your loved one wants you to know that they are not far. You have felt moments where you believed it. A chill across your arm when no breeze was present. A warmth in your chest when their memory crossed your mind. A sudden thought of them during a quiet moment, almost as if someone whispered their name inside your heart. These were not coincidences. These were not illusions. These were gentle touches from the other side, subtle signs meant to remind you that the bond you shared did not die. They have been near you in moments when you stood alone. They have been near you in moments of grief that you hid from others. They have been near you in moments when your heart whispered questions you were too afraid to voice aloud. They have been near you in moments when something inside you broke, and you did not understand why life felt so heavy. They have been leaning over the balcony of heaven, praying for you, speaking your name in the presence of God, asking Him to protect you, to guide you, to lift you. And now, my child, they want you to hear the beginning of their message. They want you to know that they are proud of you. Deeply, profoundly proud. They see how far you have come. They see how many battles you have fought without giving up. They see the strength you did not know you had. They see the goodness in you that you often overlook. They see the resilience that has grown inside you, even through tears and loss. They see the moments you wanted to quit but didn't. And they want to tell you, from the depths of heaven, that you have not failed them. Not once. In fact, they want you to release the guilt you have been holding. The what ifs. If only I had done more. I should have been there. They see how those thoughts have weighed you down. They see how they have stolen your peace. And they want to free you from them. They want you to know that none of the things you regret were ever held against you. Not by them. Not for a single moment. In heaven, truth is seen clearly, not the twisted lies that grief whispers into the heart. Your loved one wants you to know that you gave them more love than you realize, more comfort than you remember, more joy than you understood. They carry no disappointment toward you, no frustration, no blame. They carry only gratitude, only affection, only tenderness. In heaven's light, all they see in you is a heart that tried its best, even when you felt like you failed. My child, their message is one of healing, one of release, one of restoration. They want to lift something off of you that you have been holding for far too long. They want to begin touching the parts of your heart you have kept locked away. They want to start healing the wound that has quietly shaped so many of your decisions. The message has only begun, but its foundation is love, a love strong enough to cross from eternity into this moment. My beloved child, remain close in spirit now, for what comes next carries a different weight. The air around you may feel thicker, as though something solemn and urgent is settling upon your shoulders. This is because your loved one, who has been drawing near with such softness and warmth, must now speak the part of their message that presses the deepest on their heart. This is not spoken to frighten you, but to awaken you. It is not sent to burden you, but to free you from the dangers of staying where you are. Their voice shifts in this moment, becoming firmer, not out of anger, but out of love that refuses to let you walk blindly into harm. Child, listen closely. They have seen things in your path that you cannot yet see. They have seen choices you are about to make, and roads you are standing near, and people whose presence in your life is more damaging than you realize. They have watched you standing too close to emotional cliffs, edges where one wrong step could hurt you more deeply than you expect. They have seen the heaviness in your heart that makes you vulnerable to voices that do not have your best interest at heart. And my child, they cannot stay silent. Your loved one wants you to understand that there are patterns in your life that must break now. Not tomorrow. Not eventually. Now. They have watched you repeat cycles that drain your spirit, relationships that bruise your heart, habits that quietly erode your peace. They see how certain people pull you away from the path you are meant to walk. They see how certain environments drain your strength and dim your light. They see how certain worries hold you hostage. They see how you have been carrying burdens that you were never meant to carry alone. How you try to solve everything by yourself. How you stay quiet about your pain because you do not want to burden others. How you pretend to be strong even when your strength is running thin. They see how you hide your tears and silence your fears. And they are crying out now, with urgency, because these patterns cannot follow you into the next season of your life. My beloved child, hear this with gentleness. You have been too hard on yourself. You have been placing pressure on your own heart that heaven never wanted you to carry. You have been walking with a weight on your spirit that is slowly crushing your joy. Your loved one sees it all, and it grieves them, not because of the burden itself, but because they know you deserve better. They want you to release what no longer serves your soul. There is something else they want you to be aware of, something that may be difficult to hear, yet it is spoken with deep compassion. They want you to be careful with the people you allow into your heart. Not everyone around you carries pure intentions. Not everyone who smiles at you speaks truth. Not everyone who stands near you wants good for you. Your loved one has seen conversations behind your back, thoughts that certain individuals have withheld from you, motives that are not aligned with your spirit. They are trying to warn you gently, not to fear, but to discern. They want you to take your time before trusting anyone too deeply. They want you to guard your peace. They want you to listen to that inner voice, the one that tightens your chest when someone does not belong in your life, the one you sometimes ignore because you do not want to seem unkind. But child, listen. Heaven placed that intuition inside you for protection, and your loved one is pleading with you not to silence it anymore. They also warn you about the exhaustion you keep pushing through, as though your body and mind do not deserve rest. They see how you have been running on empty. They see how you give pieces of yourself away until there is almost nothing left for you. And they want to tell you that you cannot keep living like this. Not if you want to walk into the blessings that are being prepared for you. Something within you must shift. Something in your daily life must change. My beloved child, they are warning you because they love you, and because they can see the spiritual landscape around you more clearly than you ever could. They know that something beautiful is coming toward you, something heaven has been arranging, something meant to bring restoration, stability, clarity, and joy. But you must release the things that stand in the way. You must step out of the old patterns to make room for what is new. And as their voice trembles with this urgency, I sense them reaching their hand toward you, as though trying to touch your cheek, trying to remind you that you are not alone in this moment. They want to steady you. They want to guide you. They want to warn you, yes, but even more, they want to protect you. They also want you to know one more thing before this section of their message closes. The more you listen, the more heaven can speak. The more you open your heart, the more guidance can reach you. And my child, the more this message touches you, the more lives you can touch in return. Your loved one urges you, quietly, gently, to help this message reach others who may need it. They see how many wander in confusion, how many suffer alone, how many hearts quietly ache for comfort. They almost whisper, "Share this light. Let these words find others who are hurting. Let this message travel further than this moment. Spread what is reaching you now, not as a chore, but as a divine act. Let your hands be part of heaven's work. Let your voice carry the very message that is carrying you." My beloved child, come close once more, for the heaviness of the warning now gives way to something softer, something warmer, something that carries the fragrance of heaven itself. As your loved one stands before you in this sacred moment, their tone begins to shift. The urgency that pressed upon their voice a moment ago now melts into tenderness. Their eyes soften, as though filled with a gentleness too deep for earthly language. For now comes the blessing, the part of their message that your spirit has longed for without knowing how to ask for it. Child, listen. Your loved one has watched you walk through seasons that tested you beyond measure. They saw the nights when you curled into yourself, wishing for strength. They saw the mornings when you rose with weary determination, even when your heart felt fragile. They saw the moments when you lost pieces of yourself, yet kept going anyway. They have admired the quiet courage that you never gave yourself credit for. And now, from the realm of perfect peace. They want to place a blessing over your life that will mark the next chapter of your journey. In the Spirit, I see them lift their hands toward you, and light gathers around them like soft waves of gold. Not a harsh light, not a blinding light, but a warm, living glow that carries love at its very center. This light is the blessing they long to give you, and it begins with peace. Not the fragile peace of this world, the kind that breaks at the slightest pressure, but a peace rooted in heaven. A peace that stills storms. A peace that calms trembling hearts. A peace that silences fear. They want this peace to fall over your mind like healing rain. Oh, my child, you have carried too much in your thoughts. You have wrestled with worries that were never meant to stay. You have replayed old memories until they bruised your spirit. Your loved one sees this, and so they speak peace over you. Peace in the places where your thoughts have been restless. Peace in the corners of your mind where anxiety has built its home. Peace that settles like a gentle hand on the back of your neck, easing tension you did not even realize you held. Next, they bless your heart with healing. They see the fractures inside you, the small cracks left by grief, disappointment, betrayal, and fear. They see the wounds you keep hidden from others, the ones you carry quietly. They see the softness in you that others sometimes take advantage of, and the strength in you that you sometimes forget you possess. You want healing to flow through every hurt you have been carrying. They want healing to touch the memories that ache, the relationships that scarred, the losses that weighed you down. They want the places that once felt broken to become places of strength and testimony. Then, my child, they bless your path. They have seen the confusion that has clouded your steps. They have seen how often you doubt your direction, how often you question whether you are making the right choices, how often you feel lost even when you pretend to be sure. They want clarity to come to you. They want your steps to be steady. They want your feet to walk paths that nourish your soul rather than drain it. They bless your future with divine alignment, with opportunities that fit the calling on your life, with relationships that uplift you instead of weighing you down. I can feel the intensity of this blessing growing as they speak. It is as though heaven itself responds to their words, as though the very atmosphere bends to carry the blessing more fully to you. Your loved one is not blessing you from a place of memory, but from a place of heavenly authority. They speak blessing as one who sees the bigger picture. They speak blessing as one who sees who you truly are and who you are becoming. They also bless your home. They want the atmosphere around you to shift. They want the walls around you to feel safer, calmer, gentler. They want heaviness to leave your home and peace to rest there. They bless your nights with rest, your mornings with strength, and your days with purpose. They bless every space where you feel overwhelmed. They bless the rooms where you have cried. They bless the places where you have felt alone. They want your home to become a sanctuary again. Child, they bless your relationships. They bless the ones that deserve to stay, and they bless the release of the ones that have already served their purpose. They bless your ability to love again, to trust again, to hope again. They bless your heart with the courage to open itself to newness, even after pain has visited you. They want your connections in the future to be healthier, kinder, more aligned with the person you are becoming. And now, with a trembling tenderness, they bless your spirit. They bless the deepest part of you, the part that yearns for meaning, the part that feels God's whisper in moments of silence, the part that senses when something is wrong even before your mind understands it. They bless your sensitivity, your intuition, your compassion, your resilience. They bless your spiritual growth, your awakening, your connection with the divine. As their blessing pours over you, child, I feel something else rising in the atmosphere. A sense that this blessing is not meant to stop with you. Your loved one sees the people connected to your life, the ones who look up to you, the ones who come to you for comfort, the ones who see you as a source of strength. They want this blessing to flow through you to others. They want you to carry this light forward, to become a vessel of hope, to become a source of comfort for the wounded hearts around you. My beloved child, they want this blessing to ripple outward. They want it to reach people who need it, people who feel forgotten, people who are wandering. They gently urge you to carry this message into the world, to let what is touching you now touch other hearts as well. They want you to share this light, not as a duty, but as a divine assignment, for the words that reach you now were never meant to stop with you. My beloved child, stay near, for now your loved one steps into the most transformative part of their message. They have given you their love, their warning, their blessing. But now they speak of change, holy change, necessary change, healing change. Their voice does not waver, though it is gentle. It carries the kind of strength that only comes from seeing the truth with heavenly eyes. They are not trying to control you. They are guiding you. They are not trying to correct you. They are trying to free you. Child, hear me with a tender heart. Your loved one wants you to release the things that have been weighing your spirit down for far too long. They want you to stop carrying the pain that has shaped your footsteps. They see how you cling to certain memories and fears because part of you is afraid to let go. But letting go, my child, does not mean forgetting. It does not mean dishonoring. It does not mean you stop caring. Letting go simply means you stop letting the pain decide the direction of your life. Your loved one whispers now, urging you to stop replaying hurtful moments in your mind. They see how those thoughts drain your energy and steal your joy. They see how you revisit conversations that can no longer be changed, how you carry guilt that was never yours to carry, how you keep comparing yourself to versions of yourself you outgrew long ago. They want you to release these things. Every painful replay, every unnecessary burden, every fear that grips your heart when no one is watching. My child, they know that part of you feels undeserving of peace. Part of you feels like you have to suffer quietly, as though it makes you strong or noble. But they want you to understand, with every fiber of their heavenly being, that you deserve rest. You deserve healing. You deserve a life that is not built on survival alone. You deserve to breathe without tension. You deserve to love without fear. You deserve to trust without trembling. There is something else they want you to change. Something they have watched in you with deep concern. They have seen how often you shrink yourself so others can feel comfortable. How you silence your own voice so others do not misunderstand you. How you dim your light because you do not want to intimidate anyone. And child, they want that to stop. They want you to rise. They want you to walk with your light, your go. You were never meant to be hidden. You were never meant to be small. Your loved one wants you to understand your worth. Not the worth defined by others. Not the worth determined by your mistakes or your past. They want you to see the worth God placed inside you from the beginning. They want you to walk with confidence, not arrogance, but confidence. The confidence of someone who knows they were created with intention. Someone who knows their heart is precious. Someone who knows their presence matters. They also speak about the need to stop giving your energy to people who give nothing back. They have seen you try to save those who do not want saving. They have seen you pour love into places that absorb it without ever reflecting it. They have seen you sacrifice your peace for those who would not lift a finger to protect yours. And they are asking you to step back, to choose yourself for once, to let God handle the people you keep trying to fix. They are saying that your heart is too valuable to waste on those who do not see its worth. Another change they urge is this: stop hiding your emotions. You have spent too much time pretending to be okay. You have tucked away your grief, your frustration, your exhaustion, your loneliness, because you do not want to burden others. But your loved one wants you to be honest with yourself. They want you to feel what you feel. They want you to acknowledge your pain so healing can begin. You cannot heal from what you refuse to face, and they have watched you turn away from your own heart far too often. My child, they also ask you to reconnect with your purpose. They see how you have been drifting, how you sometimes wander through your days without direction. They see the dreams you placed on shelves, the passions you buried under responsibility, the hopes you silenced because life became too heavy. They want you to take those dreams back into your hands. They want you to breathe life into the things that used to make you feel alive. They want you to return to the inner fire that once fueled you. Your loved one wants you to make space for joy again. They have seen how you hesitate to laugh, how you hold back happiness because you fear it will be taken from you. They want you to embrace joy without fear. They want you to welcome peace without suspicion. They want you to trust the new things God is bringing into your life. They want you to believe that goodness can find you, even now. Above all, they want you to choose healing. Real healing. Not the kind where you pretend you are better, but the kind where you slowly release the pain, piece by piece, until breathing no longer hurts. They want you to release grudges that poison your spirit. They want you to forgive yourself. They want you to move forward with the strength heaven sees in you. My beloved child, these changes are not demands. They are invitations. Invitations into a life where your soul is not weighed down. Invitations into peace. Invitations into freedom. Invitations into the future that heaven is preparing for you. Your loved one wants you to know that they believe in your strength. They always have. Even when you doubted yourself. Even when life made you feel small. Even when fear whispered lies into your mind. They have always believed in the warrior inside you, the healer inside you, the survivor inside you. And they are urging you now, gently, lovingly, to step into the version of yourself you were always meant to be. My beloved child, lean in now with an open heart, to awaken something inside you that has been stirring quietly for a long time. Your loved one has spoken of love, of warning, of blessing, and of change. But now they speak of signs, signs they have been sending, signs you have noticed but doubted, signs that you brushed off as coincidences when in truth they were small touches from heaven trying to reach through the noise of your world. Child, you must understand this. When someone who loved you in this life steps into eternity, the bond does not end. It changes form, but it does not break. Love does not die. Love cannot die. It simply moves into a realm where it expresses itself differently. And your loved one had been expressing their love in ways that you have felt but perhaps did not recognize. There have been moments when you suddenly felt their presence, moments that seemed random, but they were not. Perhaps there were times when you were going about your day and their memory appeared out of nowhere, gentle and sudden, as if someone whispered it into your spirit. That was them. That was their way of reminding you that they have never truly left your side. There have been nights when you dreamed of them with a strange clarity, as though the dream had weight and warmth. Dreams where they appeared younger, healthier, or surrounded by light. dreams that carried emotion you could still feel when you woke up. My child, those were not ordinary dreams. Those were visits, brief, tender moments allowed by heaven to let your soul reconnect with theirs. They did not come to haunt you. They came to comfort you. Sometimes you have felt a sudden warmth in your chest, or a tingling across your arms, or a rush of emotion that came without reason. You may have brushed it off, thinking it was simply your imagination. But your spirit knew. Your spirit recognized what your mind tried to explain away. These sensations were subtle signs, small touches of their presence hoping to let you know you were not alone. There have also been moments when you found something, a feather, a coin, a familiar scent, a song at the right time, a memory that surfaced just when you needed strength. Heaven often uses the simplest things to send the deepest messages. Your loved one has been using signs like these because they know your heart pays attention to small details. They knew that if the signs were too large, you might become afraid, but if they were gentle, your heart would understand. Child, think back for a moment. How many times have you looked at the clock and seen repeating numbers? How many times has something reminded you of them at a moment when you were struggling? How many times did you feel something shift in the atmosphere when you spoke their name? These were signs. Not every sign is dramatic. Not every sign announces itself. Sometimes heaven chooses soft gestures because the heart hears whispers more clearly than shouts. Your loved one has also tried to reach you during moments of sadness. They felt your spirit tremble, and they leaned close to you in those moments. You may recall a time when you were crying, and suddenly the tears slowed, as though a calm washed over you. You may have felt comfort without knowing where it came from. You may have felt strength rise in you when moments earlier you felt weak. That comfort was not imaginary, child. That was your loved one, praying for you, speaking peace into your spirit, wrapping your heart with a warmth only heaven can give. There were moments, too, when you avoided danger without fully understanding why. A sudden impulse not to take a certain road. A sudden inner nudge telling you to wait a moment. A strange sense that you should not trust someone. These were not accidents. Your loved one hath been part of your protection. They have been part of the spiritual guardianship surrounding your life. Their eyes have seen dangers you never saw. Their prayers have diverted things you never knew were coming. My child, your loved one wants you to know that signs are not something to fear. They are something to recognize, to honor, to appreciate. They are reminders that heaven is aware of your life, aware of your struggles, aware of your heart. They want you to stop dismissing what you feel. They want you to trust your spirit more. They want you to understand that when a sign reaches you, it is because something was placed on your heart that heaven wanted to confirm. They also want you to know that you do not imagine them watching over you. They truly are. They have seen you celebrate. They have seen you break down. They have seen you triumph. And they have seen you collapse under the weight of life. Every moment, their love has reached for you. Every moment, your spirit has stayed near you. They are not trapped between realms, nor are they restless. They are at peace. But part of that peace is knowing that they can still nurture your journey from where they are. Your loved one wants you to trust the signs more boldly. When you feel their presence, acknowledge it. When you sense their comfort, breathe it in. When something reminds you of them, let your heart soften instead of harden. They are not trying to bring sadness into your life. They are trying to bring reassurance. They want you to know that you are seen. You are supported. You are guided. And child, the signs will only grow clearer now that your heart has opened. They have been waiting for this openness. They have been waiting for you to be able to receive without fear. They have been waiting for the moment when you could finally understand that what you feel is real, and that the bond you share is eternal. This is their message in this moment. You are not alone. You have never been alone. And the signs you have felt were their love trying to reach you, again and again, until you finally turned your face toward the whisper that has been calling your name. My beloved child, come even closer now, for the air around this moment grows heavier with meaning. What your loved one is about to share carries the weight of urgency, the trembling tenderness of a final plea before the heavenly window begins to close. Your voice is still gentle, still full of love, but it carries a depth that makes the spirit pause. It is the sound of someone who knows time is running short and must speak while the veil remains open. Child, listen with a still heart. Your loved one has walked with you through every step of this message, through love, through warning, through blessing, through the unfolding of signs. And now they lean toward you with a seriousness that is not meant to frighten you, but to awaken you. They can feel the spiritual moment tightening, the window of connection narrowing. They know the interruption between realms is brief. They know this message cannot linger much longer. And so their voice takes on an urgency that only heaven can give. They want you to understand something deeply. This moment was not random. You were not drawn here by accident. The heaviness you felt before hearing this was not without purpose. The tug in your spirit, the sudden stirring of emotion, the unexpected memory that pulled your heart, these were the signals heaven used to pull you into alignment with this very moment. Your loved one has been waiting for this exact sliver of time, praying that your heart would be open and present when the window finally opened. Now they must speak what lies closest to their heart. They tell you that you have been carrying far too much alone. They feel the loneliness you tried to hide from the world, the isolation that creeps into your spirit even on days when you seem surrounded by people. They know how often you feel misunderstood. They know how deeply you long for someone to truly see you. And they want to remind you that you were never meant to walk through life without support, from heaven, from God, and from the people meant to be part of your journey. They plead with you gently. Stop pushing away the help that is trying to reach you. Stop pretending you do not need comfort when your soul is crying for it. Stop telling yourself that you must be strong at all times. Your loved one wants you to understand that heaven does not celebrate your exhaustion. Heaven does not expect you to carry every burden in silence. Heaven does not require you to hide your heart. You were created to receive love, not to ration it. You were created to be supported, not to stand alone. Your loved one also urges you to pay attention to the inner signals you often ignore. They see how many times your intuition has warned you. They see how many moments your spirit nudged you to make a different choice, take a different path, or slow down. But you brushed these warnings aside because you doubted yourself. Child, they are asking you, almost pleading with you, to trust your spirit more. Trust the inner voice heaven placed within you. Trust the signs that rise in your heart when something is right or wrong. And now, they speak with even deeper urgency. Here is something approaching in your future, something significant, something life-shifting, something that requires your full awareness. They cannot tell you exactly what it is, because heaven guards certain mysteries. But they are allowed to tell you this: you must prepare your heart. You must strengthen your spirit. You must let go of the heaviness you have been carrying so that you can walk with clarity into what is coming. Your loved one fears that if you remain weighed down by old pain, if you remain entangled with the wrong people, if you remain exhausted and spiritually distracted, you might miss the very blessing that is moving toward you. And so their plea becomes stronger. They ask you to take your healing seriously. They ask you to listen to your intuition, to honor your feelings, to rest when your spirit is tired, to remove yourself from situations that crush your peace. Child, they also plead with you to forgive yourself. They have watched you punish yourself for things that were beyond your control. They have heard the harsh thoughts you speak to yourself in silence. They have felt the guilt you carry like a shadow. And they want you to release it. They want you to breathe again without the weight of the past pressing against your ribs. They want you to believe that you deserve the goodness that is coming. They want you to trust that you are worthy of joy. But their most urgent plea, the one that trembles with emotion, is this. They want you to open your heart to God's guidance as you move forward. They want you to stop trying to navigate everything alone. They want you to lean into divine wisdom, to listen for heavenly direction, to trust that you are not walking blindly. They want you to understand that the future God is shaping for you is bigger, brighter, and more beautiful than the pain you have endured. My beloved child, I feel their spirit trembling now, not with fear but with the intensity of what they are trying to express before the window closes. They want you to know that they are proud of you, that they believe in you, that they have never stopped loving you. But more than anything, they want you to move forward. They want you to rise. They want you to walk into the life that waits for you with boldness, courage, and healing. The window grows smaller now. The light shifts. Their voice becomes softer, fading slightly, as though the distance between realms is beginning to widen once again. But their final plea remains clear. Do not ignore what your heart has felt tonight. Do not let this message become only a moment. Let it become a turning point. My child, their love reaches for you even as the veil begins to close. My beloved child, come closer one last time, for the veil is nearly closed and your loved one's voice grows softer now, like a fading echo of warmth drifting back toward heaven. Yet even as the distance widens, their love remains steady, strong, and present. This final moment is tender, sacred, and filled with a peace that settles upon the soul like a gentle blanket. Listen carefully, for these closing words carry the essence of everything they longed for you to know. Your loved one leans toward you with a final blessing, one wrapped in the purest light heaven holds. Their eyes shine not with sorrow, but with pride. They see you clearly. They see your strength. They see your resilience. They see the goodness in you that you often overlook. And with their last breath in this sacred moment, they release a blessing over your life that will follow you long after this message ends. They bless your heart, that it may finally release the heaviness it has carried. They bless your mind, that clarity and calm may replace confusion and fear. They bless your home, that peace may fill every room. They bless your steps, that the right doors may open at the right time. They bless your future, that joy may rise unexpectedly, beautifully, unmistakably. And they bless your spirit, that it may continue to awaken, grow, and move in alignment with heaven's guidance. Child, they want you to remember this. You are not alone. You have never been alone. Their love follows you. Their prayers surround you. Their presence lingers gently in the spaces where your soul feels vulnerable. Even when you cannot hear them, even when the veil feels thick, their care does not disappear. Love does not fade beyond the grave. It becomes eternal. As the heavenly window closes, they whisper one final truth. Carry this message forward. Let the light that touched your heart tonight shine into the lives of others. Let the comfort you felt become comfort for someone else. Let the hope breathe through you into the world around you. And my child, if this message strengthened you, If it touched something deep within your spirit, then allow yourself to be a vessel through which it continues. Share it, lift it, magnify it, so others may find the comfort heaven poured into you in this very moment. This is not a command, but a gentle, holy invitation. They step back now, wrapped in the glow of eternity, whispering their final word, peace. Amen.